The market is each and every day more competitive, what makes people more demanding in national and international levels. So it is indispensable to think about the client's total satisfaction. This causes, between other things, the organization's necessity of improvements in performance and maintenance of alignment between the management and the company's objectives. When there is an enhancement of products and processes, it is possible to obtain results above expected and the client satisfaction. This quality area is directly related to production engineering, which embraces professionals capable of acting in the planning, quality guarantee, and control. In this way, the production engineer acts in a certain area by using contemporary statistics and managerial techniques and establishing information systems to perform tasks. Talking more about production engineering, it began mainly due to scientific administration theory created by Frederick Taylor. This theory consists in the application of systematic verification of the process to people's work, looking for a greater efficiency. Taylor's main objective was improving productivity without having larger costs, and for this to happen, a method in standardization would be needed, resulting in a specialization of the workers. He states that work needs to be separated to be better analyzed, so it is possible to get in a greater result. The relation between Taylor's ideas and production engineering is that the engineer is looking exactly for the efficiency and production growth with costs as low as possible. After Taylor, Henry Ford was the one to really put to practice that theory, applying it to his factories. Ford perfected Taylor's ideas with the production line, to have a control in his factories that embraced, for example, the income supply, the product's arrival in the market, and was even capable of having a direct control of the employees. In Brazil, the production engineering becomes more definite in the 50s, with the arrival of multinational companies. As it was something new and there weren't any professionals in the area, these positions were filled by foreigners with formation in the area. But with time, people started paying more attention to this position, and in 1957, the course of production engineering started at Universidade de São Paulo. Today, this course is present all over the country. Now, focusing on the production management, which is the branch studied by the group, it is possible to see that it holds the planning, project, operation, and production systems analysis, with development and appliance of methodologies that include techniques focused on the decision process, using quantitative methods as procedures that allow the organization of these systems, matching social and technical factors, whose interaction depends on their performance. It is a very open branch at first, perhaps because industrial administration was the first field of administration to get consolidated at the century 20 to 21, perhaps because the service sector is broad and diversified. However, it is necessary to remember that different companies can have different names for the position, and even different support functions. Almost every organization will have three central functions, because every one of them needs to sell their services, please its consumers, and satisfy their clients in the future. The production management is in the center of many changes that affect the business world. Changes in the preference of the consumer, in what internet can supply, in what we do at work, how we do, and so on. This branch is challenging, promotes the creativity that allows company to react to all the changes, and is becoming the main task of the production engineer. They are responsible for finding sustainable solutions to technological challenges and social pressure responsibilities. According to Mário Batalha's book, Introduction to Production Engineering, production management is divided in four sub. The first one is demand management, which is responsible for how much needs to be produced and sold, perceives the best moments to buy incomes, and adjusts deliveries to the customer deadlines. Based on historical curves, it is possible to foresee the future demands in short, medium, and long term. It is considered the connection between production and markets. The second one is business planning, also known as strategic planning, which is responsible for planning strategies in long term in a general manner. The role of the engineer in this case is determining all the resources a company will need, where should the factories be, their indoor layout, and the necessary stuff. In a more general vision, it is where occurs the idealization and cost predictions of the organization. The third one is operational planning, which is focused in the company operation. There is still planning, but it is only in short term and in a narrower vision. Here happens the stock control and the way the industry will attend its demands is defined in a more specific and momentary level. And the last one is production control, which is responsible for monitoring the whole productive process, correcting any error and finding points to be improved, and giving feedback to the operational planning, to give the clients the best experience in a sustainable way to the company. Talking a bit about sustainable development, it's important to see that by definition it is the capacity of obtaining an economic performance without prejudicing nature and the next generation's possibility of growing. It is the relation between the economic development, nature preservation, and social justice, and makes possible the prosperity of the planet in a responsible way. Nowadays, this idea is present in the society and has been introduced in the beginning of human development, like in schools and preschools. The 21st century children are growing conscious of the importance of sustainable development, but it wasn't always what occurred in the past. The first alert signal of this situation was Malthus' report, which discussed the population exponential growth and the incapability of the food production to keep up with. With the Green Revolution, things changed significantly, and now we have other problem. Even though there is a lot of food, it is disproportionately distributed. So while some people die of hunger, others throw food away because they have too much. This type of problem motivated the creation of the 2030 Agenda. Some of its main objectives is ending poverty in all forms, ending hunger and with food security, guarantee healthy lives, and education quality for all. All these goals help build a more sustainable world, ready to receive the next generations. It is important to see the relation between innovation, sustainable development, and Calculus 1. The relation between calculus and innovation is already well known. This subject introduces two new concepts that opens doors for new and different knowledges. Concepts like derivatives lead us to points of minimum and maximum, which are related to optimizing and improvements of the system. Nowadays, people are more worried about their impacts in a wildlife. That is why nature maintenance has become an important topic in technology innovations. It isn't necessary any deep studies to see that the current energy sources are prejudicing the environment, and the more we use them, faster they will end. That is why there are so many researches on new energy sources to replace or complement the non-renewable ones, with the object of leaving the non-renewable behind and walking into a path of renewable sources that has less impact in nature. About the bibliometric research of this work, it was produced according to knowledges from the classroom and present in the thematic article. The researches were performed in the website Web of Science. Its object is relating Calculus 1 content to articles in the branch of production management. For this, it was elaborated a code based on Boolean logic within the parameters of the research mechanism. And some of the conclusions it brought us was that with the results, it is possible to see that Brazil is the country with the second bigger relevance in the subject, losing only to Germany, and that the most relevant article was closed-loop supply chain configuration for new and reconditioned products, an integrated optimization model,